Hallo und willkommen. Ich bin Meister Lenz and you're watching Get Germanized, how to trick German women into dating you, aka how to date German women.
I am bored. What should I do?
Ah, ich weiß.
Get Germanized.
So how do you date German women? Do you lay out bait? Sausage bait? Okay, this is starting off great, I see. Not that kind of sausage. How sauerkraut? Bavarian dirndl? A nice Bavarian dirndl, maybe. You put it on your bed and the German woman will surely come, right? No. Apparently, according to international love.dating, this is not correct. And today we're actually gonna go on their website and check out, well, their dating guide for German women. I'm interested. I haven't really read through it, all of it yet, because I wanted to give you guys an honest reaction to what they're saying, if it's true or not. This video is not sponsored by them. It's just an interesting guide, I thought, and maybe something funny will come out of it. And I will, of course, comment on my experience and on what they're saying and compare to my personal experience. So, how to date German women 101, obviously. And I'd say let's get started right away. So this is the webpage with the article. German women, it says. Welcome to Germany, Deutschland, a fast-living, ultra-modern, yeah, it was correct so far, where the lederhosen and dirndl of the past have been swept aside by the tide of jeans, t-shirts, jackets, and hip-clinging dresses. Yeah, I mean, I suppose so. In Bavaria, they often still wear dirndls and lederhosen, though, especially during Oktoberfest, but everyone knows that. The past few decades have seen dramatic changes in the German way of life. While marriage is still important and deeply cherished, the practice of living together without the formality of documentation is here to stay. I would agree to that. I know a lot of people that like to just date, that don't want to marry, or that even are in a long-term relationship and are not married. I have friends that are together for over 10 years and they are not married for various reasons, but mainly just because they don't want to, they don't think it's necessary. But on the other side, I have friends, a couple at least, that are married after not that long being in a relationship and that have kids. It all depends, and as reference, I am 32 and my friends are same age or a little bit older than me. Okay, let's continue. Things to know about German women. The Germans, males and females, are usually very polite and well-mannered. Well, I'd like to think so. However, they are also always ready for having fun. Yeah, personally, yes, sure. While the cold label attached to the most people from the north is sometimes pretty accurate, it's by no means a blanket that applies to everyone. Yeah, that is true. I mean, they say about us here in the north, because I do live in the north as well, even though if people from the further north say we don't. Even though we are quite serious sometimes, we run around with a blank expression like meh, meh. And German women sometimes tend to do so as well. It's not like we're not friendly, we're just not smiling all the time. We're thinking about our own stuff, and why use the face muscles if you don't have any reason? That's at least what I'm thinking. Anyway, let's continue here. When will we get to the dating part, I wonder? Germany is a friendly nation, especially in the south, where the Bavarians have a great sense of humor and don't need too many excuses to have a party, and where beer and wine flows like water, or flow like water. Holy shit, I guess so. I mean, they do have the Oktoberfest. They are also upfront about saying what they mean. If they don't like something, you'll be sure to be told before too many minutes have passed. But I would say that's all over Germany, like that's the case all over Germany, not only in Bavaria, but I might be wrong here. I don't live in Bavaria. I have been to Bavaria a couple of times and to the Oktoberfest, and people were friendly there, yeah. I mean, also heard them call a friend of mine Saupreis, which is like the Sau Prussian, so people from northern Germany, like an old lady selling Wurst, sausage in a store. Anyway, where's the dating part? The Germans are up to date, at least something, with just about everything. Clothes, restaurants, and entertainment are on par with most of the world, and the cities in particular are a great place to visit and meet the beautiful Fräuleins. One advice here: don't call a German woman Fräulein. It's just not common at all. No one does it. No one does it. No one. It's very old-fashioned. Anyway, over the past 20 years or so, Germany has widened its horizons, becoming a more multicultural country, open to influences from far and wide. That is true, but it's always kind of been like that. I mean, we always had Turkish people for the longest time now, at least, and Russians. A lot of Russians were here even before the refugee crisis, and even before the media made it look like all of Germany is now Islamic, which is not true, and I don't think it will ever be like this. And so, anyway, that's a completely different topic. Many German women are real babes, hot and beautiful, enough said. Well, that's of course relative. If you're into German women, actually, I do not really think there is the German woman. I guess if you think of German women, you think of blue eyes, blonde hair, big chest, and like hourglass-shaped figure. But that's like, you're talking supermodels here, right? No, but I think all in all, German women are quite beautiful, but again, like, that's not a blanket statement. In like every country and every culture has beautiful women and beautiful men. It's not like that every German woman will be beautiful, same as not every American woman will be beautiful, or will be whatever you want to apply here. So all in all, it depends on your taste, but yeah, sure, why not? Part of today's modern world, Germans are pretty similar to the rest of us in most everyday stuff. They love being sociable and eating good food, drinking fine wine, and downing beers in the beer gardens. Yeah, true, but it's always been like this. I think we've always been sociable and wanted to have a good time. I don't think that's something very new, but anyway, Germans are quite sporty people, and activities include climbing, golf, tennis, cycling, and hiking through the countryside. One could well say that the nation as a whole is pretty fit, most people visiting a gym once or twice a week. While German girls are great at keeping their houses and apartments in tip-top shape, they are also independent, no longer the typical Hausfrau, so a housewife. Yeah, I would say that is all very true. I know very fit German women. A lot of them go to the gym regularly. But I also know just as many that don't like fitness, that don't like going to the gym all the time and working out. But I would still say the majority of them does. So this is actually true. And that's a good thing too. I mean, yeah. Anyway. Most of the people are looking for a partnership, a real togetherness, sharing all the mundane household tasks, even the cooking. They're not interested in being simple stay-at-home slaves to the housework. I would say that's true. Who would want that? I mean, there are exceptions, 100%. That some women really like this traditional housewife role. There's definitely that. Doesn't have to do anything with being a slave or anything like that. That's fine if you want to do that. But the truth is that these days women often, at least, want a real partnership, a 50-50 partnership where you both give, where the woman works as well and doesn't only play the role of Hausfrau and mother. Which, like I said, is fine if she wants to do that, but it's getting more and more common that it is an equal partnership instead of, well, the traditional role of the Frau, of the woman, that has been depicted for ages in, well, movies back in the day and books and whatever. But now we're finally getting to the dating German women part. Let's see. Never be late. This is important. Punctuality seems to be an inbuilt feature of the German way of life. Yeah, we try at least. We try. Being late for meetings and appointments, yes, and dates is something very foreign to the German mentality. Again, we know that people are late to those things, but we don't like it. We definitely try to be on time. Doesn't mean that we always achieve that, right? So expect German people to be late every now and then. I have many friends that rarely make it on time to appointments or whatever, to meetups. It exists, and trains are late too, often in Germany. The Deutsche Bahn isn't perfect, but we strive for perfection. That's what can be said, at least. So even if you send an SMS apologizing for your late arrival, it's a message that won't be understood, because tardiness doesn't exist in this country. That's not true. Definitely not true. It exists. And if someone has a good reason for being late, and if you would send a text to whomever, then I mean, unless they're really mean people, they would understand. If it's just like, oh, I couldn't be bothered to be on time, sorry, then of course they will be pissed, because we try to be on time, like I said, and we might be waiting there for you for half an hour, to an hour, however long you let us wait for you. So, try to be on time, but if you have a valid reason that you're not, don't sweat it. Try to be on time though, definitely try. Flowers. Although not essential, it's a nice idea to present your lady with a flower on the first date. Personally, I haven't done that before. I guess it's nice. Not sure how necessary or how like likely it is that the German woman will expect this. Maybe my German ladies out there that are watching can comment. Would you be happy about someone presenting a flower to you on the first date? Or would you think it's weird and a bit like too much? Let me know. Next up, generosity. It's generally accepted that on the first date the male should pay for meals, drinks and any entertainment such as theater, cinema, etc. However, if your beautiful young partner hints that she'd like to pay, suggest that she could do so on the next date. This is really, can't be a blanket statement, because some women want you to pay. Yes, that's still the case. It exists in Germany too. But others are kind of like, hey, I'm my own woman, I earn my own money, let's at least split the bill, right? So, it really depends. Some women will also act as if they don't want you to pay, so you have to look for hints. If she really easily gives in to you saying I'll pay, then yeah, that was probably just an act. But I mean, there are women out there that don't want you to pay for them, and I think that has to do with this whole being equal part. It should start even, I guess, in the dating phase. You can also very easily see if it will be a relationship like this, like that with this woman or not in the future, because if she wants you to pay for everything all the time, then don't expect an equal partner. Expect someone that wants to be pampered and looked after. So if you're into that, if you want to be the dominant male part all the time that pays for everything and stuff like that, that's fine, of course, if you want to do that. But yeah, it's easy to kind of see the mentality of a person during this dating phase, so make sure that that is the right person for you. Next up, most Germans speak good English and you'll encounter few, if any, language problems. Therefore, good quality conversation will flow freely. Oh, well, yeah, I guess, well, when it's about speaking English, many Germans are quite good at English. They have a good command of the English language, but not all, definitely not all. And also about conversation flowing freely. Personally, I made the experience that often I had to give cues and ask questions and kind of propel the conversation forward. Maybe I just dated the wrong chicks, I don't know, but yeah, I actually would also prefer if I dated someone that could hold up a conversation on their own without me constantly having to give input, right? Because otherwise I don't feel like they're on my intellectual level. Not saying that I'm super smart or anything like that. I would just like to have a flowing conversation anyway. But all in all, I think this is true, yeah. Next up, Germany is a fully up-to-date, cosmopolitan, modern country. The multicultural society welcomes people from other nations, yeah. That is true. Next up, marriage is an important aspect of life, and most German girls and women seek this type of relationship as a form of stability. I wouldn't say most, but a lot of women still do. They would be happy if they found the right partner to eventually marry them and maybe have kids and stuff like that. I think that is still something, even though it's super traditional, that many German women are interested in. Yeah, for stability too, I suppose. But also, I mean, it's nice, right? I mean, once you found someone that you really want to stay with, to have this kind of next step into this, yes, I want to spend the rest of my life with you. But again, not all women do. And also, I don't think it's super necessary these days. Marriage does complicate a lot of things if you at some point find out that you're not happy in this relationship. Then if you're married, you're way more likely to just stay in it for, well, commitment or not commitment, for the reason that it's super complicated to get out of it, or at least a hassle, and that might lead you to living an unhappy life in that relationship. So not necessarily is this something all German women want, but it's definitely something that happens still quite a bit. Next up, German girls are straightforward. If they want something, they'll let you know. If your date is happy in your company, she'll tell you. If she would like to progress on to a second date, she'll suggest another meeting. However, if she says it's not going to work, believe her, it's not going to work, and there's no point in argument. Return to the website and look at all the other attractive possibilities. Yep, the world's your oyster. Well, I would like to think so, but still a lot of girls are very shy about these things, or like to play games, like to hint at stuff but not really directly say it. I would love women in general to be more direct when it comes to all matters of the relationship, not only during the dating phase. But I have made the experience, and that is still not very true. They say they want communication and they say they want more openness, but when it comes to actually doing it, it's still not 100% accurate, I don't think, at least. But again, this is not a blanket statement. There's a lot of women that do this and that do want this. So yeah, independence and a thoroughly logical thought process differentiates the gorgeous German ladies from their counterparts in many other countries. Well, the blanket statement again. In general, they are very well educated and love to talk about everything: fashion, design, art, music, and literature, and stuff that's happening in the rest of the world. Not from my experience. Again, this is my personal experience. It doesn't mean it's true, but I wanted to comment from my personal experience. So don't get offended if you are a German woman that is very intelligent and that likes to talk politics and all these different kind of things. Hit me up in the private messages, please. No, just kidding. But you know, it's rare that happened to me, at least, where a woman is super interested in politics or science. I mean, yeah, actually, I have friends, female friends, German women, that are into this, that are very intelligent, that like to talk technology and sci-fi and stuff like that, but not necessarily women I dated. So yeah, it might just be me and my dating choices. I blame myself here. You will meet these forward-thinking women in all the larger cities such as Berlin, Bonn, Frankfurt and Munich. Well, that might be why I haven't met any of them, because I don't live in a big city. And yeah, now thinking about it, the ladies from... I wanted to say the ladies from the bigger cities, yes, definitely more intelligent. But that's a blanket statement again and can't be applied to all the women in existence. But maybe they're more likely because they're more exposed to influences from all different kinds of sectors and from different people that come from other countries, more foreigners, more tourists and stuff like that, might have different reasons why women from bigger cities are more into these kind of topics. But again, very broad generalization here, not definitely true. Celebrations are a great German tradition, true. Fasching, so carnival, and especially Oktoberfest are the best known of these large-scale fiestas when people love to have fun and enjoy life, and beer, true. It's certainly true that the Germans are accomplished beer drinkers, men and women, both, but because they are well used to the hoppy beverage, they tend to have fewer alcoholic problems than people in the other countries. Well, I suppose that could be true, that we just have a higher tolerance because beer is very common here. But technically, you're still an alcoholic if you drink all the time, right? For example, some people have a beer every evening after work, so they have alcohol every day. That could be counted as alcoholism in my book. Or even if you go binge drinking or partying every weekend, maybe even 2 days a week, and have hard liquor, and you do that all the time, every week, you could be counted as an alcoholic, technically. Not saying that you have a problem. If you can just stop and not crave it afterwards, then good on you. But if you do crave it, if you do think, oh, well, I'm a little bit shaky, well, but that's, anyway, that's not the point here. Sure, could be true. In the same way that there's a difference to be found in the attitudes of people from northern and southern Germany, it should be obvious that the cooler and more state women of northern Europe are worlds apart from the hot-blooded senoritas of the Latin countries when it comes to freedom of expression, warmth and family values, and amore. There's a little comparison. So they're saying that German women are more cold than Latinas, I suppose. Because, I mean, if you've ever seen the soap opera, a Latin soap opera, then you understand right away. Because German women are definitely nothing like that. Even the happiest German women, I don't think, compare, not necessarily. I don't know. It's generally true, I would say. There might be exceptions, though. As mentioned above, beer is very popular and consumption of beer per person is the highest in the world. In Germany, actually, I don't think that's true. I believe it's the Czech Republic first. Yeah, I just looked it up and it's the Czech Republic, well, with the people who drink the most beer per year. German food tends to be on the heavy variety. That's true. The meat and the 2-veg type of affair. Although international cuisine from places of as far afield as China, India and Japan is making strong inroads. Yeah, I mean, it's always been the case though. We always had restaurants, like Italian restaurants, but then again, yeah, more exotic cuisines like Japanese or Thai or Vietnamese or whatever, or Indian, is more of a standard these days, I think, than it was. But I don't remember, to be honest, what it was like in the 80s. Because I was a kid. And of course, ubiquitous fast foods, kebabs, burgers and pizzas are available everywhere, along with the traditional fare of sausages and more sausages, bratwurst, Weißwurst, and more recently currywurst with a hefty dose of mustard, so Senf, the lightweight German mustard. That is true, we do have a lot of fast food stands, definitely a lot of sausages, Bratwurst, so fried sausage for sure, yeah, Weißwurst in Bavaria, more likely at least, and currywurst, so curry sausage, very popular here. There's even a currywurst museum in Berlin. Anyway, why is this in the dating section? I guess for you to understand better what Germans in general are like, so that you know what dating them would be like. Well, makes sense, I suppose. This is interesting stuff to remember when you date German women. Listen to your date. Instead of gazing at her lips and wondering how they might taste, okay. And instead of thinking about her body in all its perfect nakedness, listen to what she is talking about. I don't think this is only applicable to German women, but anyway, listen and understand. It's a fact. Women like their men to respond to what they're saying. So if you spend the time daydreaming about sexual possibilities, you ain't gonna get past the first date. Of course, yeah, that's generally true for all women everywhere. If you don't listen to anything they're saying, at some point they'll get mad. I mean, men too. What? Yeah, okay, anyway. Next up, smart and casual. This is a modern country full of smart, attractive, well-educated young women. This means you should think about what to wear for that all-important first meeting. Something smart, something that you feel comfortable in, clothes that will reflect respect for your beautiful partner. German girls and young women know how to look their alluring best, so don't let the side down by looking like a hobo. True, I think. If you look good in a suit and tie and highly polished black shoes, great, but such formal dress isn't essential. Agreed. A pair of jeans, a clean open necked shirt and a smart jacket will be just fine. Yeah, I think that's definitely true. Next up, don't hog the conversation. As mentioned above, Germans are pretty good at English and love to meet people from other countries. Give and take, listen and respond. Answer questions, sure, but don't ramble on about your previous relationships, your job, your friends and money. Yeah, no, I think that's also true. And if you want to propel the conversation, ask questions about her and what her interests are and maybe what her job is and how her day was, instead of just saying what you want to say about yourself. If she asks, then fine, of course, answer it, but try to get it back to what she likes. I think that's normal though for men and women. Like, no one wants to hear someone else blabber on for hours about themselves only. Next up, be yourself. It's you that your prospective partner is interested in. Not some watered down version of Brad Pitt or Jason Bourne. Do not pretend to be something you're not. There'll be plenty of opportunity on future dates to demonstrate your prowess at imitating well-known people. Okay, yeah, I mean, who would do this, really? I mean, they would find out sooner or later that you're not what you're trying to be. So, what's the point? Next up, be a gentleman. Yep, even in this day and age, courtesy is much appreciated by the ladies. Simple stuff such as holding the door open so that your goddess can pass through ahead of you, sliding her chair forward as she sits down, and standing up when she leaves the table to go to the lavatory are all big plus points. Chivalry is alive and kicking, always was, always will. Partially true, I would say. Some women would definitely think it's too much if you get her a chair and put it underneath her bottom. Yeah, I think this would be too much for some women for sure. I don't really do that because for me it seems like it would be too much. Others would really enjoy this because who does this these day and age, right? So it will be like, oh, wow, what a gentleman. But not all women will enjoy this, especially not the ones that are more on the feminist side. They will think, like, what is he doing? I'm an independent woman. I don't need him to do this. I don't like this. And that's definitely true for some women. But again, some might like it, some might not. Etiquette. Don't eat with your mouth wide open. Of course, this is common sense. Who would do that? That's disgusting. So there's no greater turn-off than having to sit opposite of someone that has the manners of a pig. Or the, yeah, okay, that's all true anyway. Next up, more etiquette. Don't overdo the aftershave. Little is adequate, none is best. It's a definite no if you turn up more perfumed than your princess. Yeah, I would agree. Perfume isn't a man thing. Leave it to the ladies, no matter what the advert tells you. Women, I think, like men to smell nice, at least. So freshly showered, maybe your showering gel will be enough. I mean, your deodorant, definitely wear deodorant. That is definitely enough, I think, for most women. You don't have to smother yourself with clouds of perfume or eau de cologne, whatever. A little bit, maybe, I don't know, on the wrists or something like that. Just a tiny bit might be enough if you really need to do it, if you want to do it. Next up, contacting your German princess. Because of their sociability, it's often quite easy to meet a beautiful young single German woman in a bar or a bistro or at a party. And because of their excellent handle on the English language, it's a simple matter to strike up a conversation, the important icebreaker. Flirting in Germany, I mean, to be honest, I think if you're a foreigner approaching a German woman in a bar, they're more likely to be like, oh, hello, because they're so not used to German men doing this. German men, including me, are super shy to flirt in public. I mean, there's exceptions, of course. Maybe you're one that is a pickup artist that knows all the tricks in the book, that has game and all of that kind of stuff. But mostly that's not true for German men, from my experience, from what I heard from friends and you guys out there in the comments below. It's definitely not a German skill necessarily to pick up women in public, and if so, often German women are just not used to it and are like, oh, sorry, I'm busy, sorry, bye. So, I mean, but maybe if a foreigner very open and friendly approaches them, that's different. Who knows? I'm not a foreigner. You can write your experience with approaching German women in the comments below, and I'll make a video about that, about your comments, next time. So that's it for dating German women, or how to date German women, or how to trick German women into dating you. If you have any comments, leave them, please do, in the comment section. Also tell me about your experiences when it comes to dating German women and German men. Good experiences and bad, critiques, pros and cons, all of that kind of stuff. Do it. I might make a video about your comment next time, we shall see. And check out my social media, Instagram and all of that. You can see it down here. It's all there, and also linked in the video description. Also the homepage that we read through today, linked in the video description too. You can read up on more stuff if you're interested. And apart from that, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to get Germanized. Goodbye and auf Wiedersehen.